Hey guys, what's happening? Hope you're having a great day. I surprise myself with my stupidity sometimes. I'm in a little park. It's not far from my house. There's a nice little waterfall. I love to shoot, and I've shot it so many times I couldn't even count, but it's something I like to do. You know, I like to go back and practice and shoot again and shoot again. You do get different conditions, and it's just good practice to kind of shoot the little things that are close to home, so that when you get to see the big things that are far from home, you kind of know what to do, right? You can kind of go into autopilot instead of like, you know, what are these dials for and all that. So anyway, I'm stupid because I actually came here yesterday and I was here for about an hour and a half. I took all this video, I vlogged, and then I had the camera and I had the 10 stop and I shot away, and I got home and like most of the photos were blurry. I swear I need to get my eyes checked. I kept the 10 stop on for too long, even when it was getting kind of dark, and that's all it is. It's a black piece of glass designed to help you like get a long exposure, and I just didn't really need it. So you know, that was a kind of dumb thing. And then the other thing I did was, in the video, I'd zoomed in at one point on something and I forgot to zoom back out. So much of the rest of the video that I did, the vlog, was like, you know, like this, like, hey, I'm Jim. And like, you don't need to have a close-up of my face, right? So I'm more about trying to show you where I am, and I didn't do a very good job of that. So I'm gonna correct all that, and I've got a goal. My goal is to get 3 photos. Now I'm gonna take more than 3. I took 56 yesterday, all single exposures, long exposures, you know, 5 seconds to 30 seconds. But I'm gonna try to walk away from this little outing with 3 photos. You know, I was here yesterday, right? Spent an hour and a half shooting it. So in many ways, I already kind of know the composition that I want. So that's sort of out of the way. Having shot around a few different spots here, I know what I want. So I'm saying 3 photos that I like. I'll probably take 10 or 15 or 20. But, you know, it's not really about quantity. Obviously, it's about quality. So I'm going to try to get 3 shots that I like and that I'm proud of. And we'll see what happens. So here we go. All right, as I said previously, since I was here yesterday, I kind of already know what I want to do. One of the things I spent a lot of time doing yesterday that I'm not going to do today, was standing up here. If you look down there, there's a rock ledge. You can kind of see it. I stood on that ledge and took a number of shots, but the thing about that is that what I don't like about it is because I'm elevated, I'm up probably about 10 feet above the water, and the waterfall's probably 30 or 40 feet over there and about 6-8 feet high or whatever. But anyway, I'm elevated and then I'm on a tripod, and so it's like you're looking down, but not like in a good way. So it's I don't know, the perspective is kind of off. So even though I took some shots from there, I'm not going to do that today. If you can see that little island out there, I'm going to go hop onto that. I hope my knee holds up. It's been fine. Yeah, but I tweaked it a while back shooting some other waterfalls further up this creek. Anyway, I'm going to hop down to that little island and get some close-ups and try to do some interesting stuff. So wish me luck. Here it goes. Well, I've been here set up for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, and I've already got 3 photos I like. So this might be easier than I thought. Regardless, I'm going to keep trying because, you know, again, you never can tell until you get them on the computer, see what they really look like. So I'm going to keep firing away, but so far I'm liking what I'm getting. I'm getting like a 2 or 3 second exposure at f32, something like that, f25, f32, somewhere pretty high. Anyway, tight aperture. It's kind of lower light, but it's not dark. It's an overcast day, so I'm getting all the benefits of that, which will remove the glare from the water and that sort of thing. So I've got a bit more to do here, and probably 45 minutes till it's really dark. So I'm going to shoot away and see what else I can get. All right, guys, I'm 11 photos in, and I like them all. So it's like shooting fish in a barrel. And I was wrong. It's not 2 or 3 seconds. I'm only doing a half a second. It's f32 at half a second. And I'm doing some wide stuff where I'm getting the whole falls, and I'm also doing some zoomed in stuff where I'm getting, I wouldn't call it an abstract, but sort of that ilk, if you will. A little, you know, a component or a piece of the waterfall instead of the whole view. I like to do that, like in nature, you try to isolate a certain thing, and I don't know, it just becomes an interesting subject. So there's like multiple subjects within a bigger subject, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to do that a little bit here and having fun with it. So I'm gonna keep going. One of the things I think is super important for all of us as photographers, of course, is to practice, right? They say practice makes perfect, and while there's no such thing as perfect in photography, it does make you a more skilled photographer. I've got a lot to learn. I always keep trying to push myself and try new things and learn new things, and you know, I think it's important. And I think one of the things that we all probably experience as photographers is, especially if we're not traveling somewhere, like I haven't traveled anywhere in a while, you know, you get kind of bored shooting the same stuff at home. You're kind of like, yeah, I've already shot that. I got a shot I like. I don't really need to go. I'll just watch TV or something. And I'm like that too. I think we all are. And you know, everybody gets excited when you got a big trip planned and you're going somewhere. It's impossible, especially as a photographer, not to get excited about going somewhere. And therefore, the opposite's true, where you get kind of bored with the same old stuff at home. And what I try to do, or tell myself, is, you know, try to get creative, even if you're seeing the same things again and again and again, and you're shooting them again and again and again. Try to use that monotony to spark creativity. And so I try to do that with myself. You know, there's a lot of different ways you can approach a subject. So even though I've shot these waterfalls plenty of times before, I've mostly done it with a wide angle. So today I've got my zoom on, my 24 to 240. So I'm doing some tighter crops. I'm getting some you know, views of just the falls themselves without the wider view. Although I did a little bit of wide stuff too. But there's a lot of ways to get creative. Change composition. You can change lenses, which forces you to change your comp. You can change what you're doing in post, right? So you can change either the software or the editing technique. I don't do a lot of black and whites. I think some of these will probably be black and white. There's not a lot of color in this scene anyway. I mean, it's a kind of cold, wintry day. Ooh, we got a little bit of a sunset happening. Hold on, I get a little excited. You know, that's you know, there's a lot of different things you can change in order to sort of mix it up. So even if you're not going somewhere and you're looking at the same subject again and again and again, try to get creative and think of different ways to approach it, and use that monotony to spark creativity in your process, whether it's the capture or the post process. But just something I was thinking about. And just go out and practice, because you know, you're building that muscle memory and those skills that will allow you, when you do get somewhere, to just jump into autopilot and start shooting away without sort of figuring out, you know, what do I do here, what should I do, or whatever. So I think it's important. And so even though I haven't gone anywhere lately, I'm still trying to get out and shoot and work on my craft. And frankly, it's just fun anyway. So you can't beat that, right? So I'm gonna get back. I've got probably a couple of dozen photos now, so way more than the 3 I kind of aimed for. Well, it was 3 takeaways really, so I've probably got a couple dozen, but they, from what I can tell in the back of the camera, they all look pretty good. So I'm gonna go take a few more. I've still got a little bit of time till darkness, so I'm gonna shoot a little bit more, see what else I can come up with, and then hopefully I'll hop in a Luminar and show you what they look like too. Alright guys, I'm going to call that an outing here, and I feel like it was a success. Compared to yesterday when I spent an hour and a half here doing nothing, today I spent, let's see, I've been here less than an hour. I've got 41 photos, I think they all look good, and I'm going to have quite a few keepers, and maybe all of them actually. And in fact, I think I'm going to do the unthinkable, which is when I get home, I'm going to delete the entire folder that I created for the photos I took yesterday. I really never do that unless they're all junk, and I think they're all junk, especially compared to the fact that I just took 41 that I think are all pretty good. So that's one thing. The other thing I learned is check your settings, as I said. Like on the video that I did yesterday, I told you I was zoomed in. Dumb, I'm just not paying attention. So how many times have you picked up a camera and started shooting only to realize your ISO is at like 5,000 because the last time you shot you were in some low light situation, right? So that's kind of an obvious one. And for me, the big thing is like, you know, even though something you may return to and shoot again and again can become monotonous, you know, treat it as an opportunity to learn. I'm trying to do that myself because, I mean, I've got itchy feet, as my mom says. I'm all about traveling and going somewhere. But you know, sometimes you just can't do that, and that's fine. And so I'm trying to make it a less monotonous by doing things differently, even though I'm shooting something that I may have shot before. And in this case, I've shot this, you know, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 10 times over the last few years, but that's okay, right? So I'm trying to do it differently, and I'm also going to edit them differently. So, you know, these are things I like to think about and try to incorporate into my own craft, if you will. And I encourage you to try it. It's kind of refreshing to do different things, and especially in terms of like looking at things differently, and you know, trying to be creative, even though it may be a subject you've shot before. Hence, you've seen me go out with just a prime lens, for example, downtown shooting at night, and things like that. So I'm doing more of those kind of things. I'm trying to also broaden my skills. I feel like for many years I pretty much did the same thing, and I did it repeatedly. So it was just lather, rinse, repeat for me. Same subjects, same lenses, same editing process, bracketing, all that. And you know, I didn't bracket anything here. I don't feel like I need to bracket a waterfall. I'm not going to get anything out of it. And so I'm trying to continue to create and evolve and grow my skills, and it's important to me, so I'm going to keep at that. Anyway, I'm going to pop into Luminar, see what I can get out of these things, and whoa, sorry, I shook the camera there. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Have a great one, and adios, my friends.